Hello there, friends. Here we are in 2021, or perhaps it's even later than that when you watch this video. I decided for my first recording for 2021 to speak about the great pause. All of us have had a taste of this in 2020. Some people do call it the pandemic, COVID. Others are calling it the great pause. Either way, it's a global shift. We are all going through personal and global transitions for the evolution of our species, for the evolution of the planet, and for the nurturing of our heart, even though it may not actually feel like it during the process of it. So I was inspired to speak about this subject because I live near a state border in Australia, and because of COVID, we have to get a border pass to cross. And so sometimes, depending on the time of day you go, you can just drive straight through. The policemen wave you through when you hold up your pass. And usually, though, that is just at about 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning when we're going to the organic markets, or 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning. And so we get waved right through. But I was in the queue the other day, and it was only about 15 minutes that we were in the queue, my daughter and I, and I was in the right-hand lane, which the left-hand lane had to merge in to the right-hand lane. So I thought I was clever and I was getting into the right. I was already in the right lane. But people were zooming up the left lane, the inside lane, because remember we drive on the left in Australia. So they're driving up the inside lane and nudging in way up ahead, and every car that went past, I'd see them further up, maybe 7 or 8 cars. Even one person towing a horse float was about 20 cars further up than us, and I thought I was in the right spot. But we still only had to wait for about 15 minutes, and it just gave me a little bit of time to reflect on how pausing is so good for us when we allow ourselves. And I realised in that moment, some people couldn't wait. They were on work time and they had urgent things. I've worked from home, so I had that flexibility of time. But during 2020, all of us in one way or another have been asked to pause. And it's very easy to get frustrated and impatient with times when we lose control and when we don't want to pause, we want to keep going. But if we're really honest with ourselves and we can actually get comfortable with the discomfort, then our heart will probably actually say, oh, this is great. I just needed to slow down for a while. But it does take courage and to surrender into that. I'm going to speak about surrender in future videos. And if you can't wait, if you can't pause in waiting for surrender in the meantime, pick up my book Bloom. That's a tale of courage, surrender, and breaking through upper limits. But what I've found with pausing is it gives us clarity, but it's also an act of self-kindness. And so in a way, even though there's heartache and we're losing people we love, and I'm not downplaying the sadness and the heart-wrenching situations that are happening because of COVID, but there's a lot of good. For every darkness there's light as well. Every piece of darkness there's light. There's a lot of good happening as well. And if we allow ourselves to pause, our heart actually can be heard. This video wouldn't actually be happening if I didn't make pausing a habit from time to time. I'm a solo mum, and it's summer holidays. I work from home, but I have to be in parent mode more and look after my gorgeous girl. So during that time, I try not to work too much. I put all my interviews, all my mentoring, all my social media, I put everything on hold as best I can. And just attend to the absolute necessary business during that time. But the reason this video wouldn't happen if I didn't pause is because it's during those pauses that I get the most clarity, that we all get the most clarity if we stop resisting the pause. And I realized I just started asking myself what areas of my work light me up the most. And the areas that light me up the most are writing books and connecting with you, my audience. So they are the areas I want to focus on more in 2021. And it takes a certain amount of discipline because I have a lot of great ideas. Any creative soul who allows space to hear their heart and their guidance does have a lot of creative ideas. And I've found the courage to act on a lot of those ideas, and I'm grateful for the intelligence to put things together and make them happen. But when I'm really honest with myself, I don't want to work too hard. I want to be present for my daughter. I also want to be present for my life and for the little doggy sitting down here beside me, Tickles, eh? And but I also, and I want to be present for you, but I want to be present for my life, and I want to do the things that make me happiest. All of us do. All of us want to honor our hearts, but it's very difficult sometimes to do that if you're coming from a place of fear all the time and not trusting in the pause. So this is a great pause. Take what actions you have to keep your life moving forward as possible, but try to come from a place of trust rather than a place of fear. I'm sure you've possibly heard the story, the analogy of the old oak tree, that it doesn't rush its growth. It pauses and then it grows, and then it pauses, then it grows. Well, this is what's happening now for humanity. So we're in the middle of a great pause. We're in the middle of a complete shift from the old way, which was certainly not sustaining our joy. It was certainly not sustaining the planet. It was certainly not kind to other beings on the planet, to all the animals and plant life on the planet. But if you want to truly embrace 2021 in a good way, just try to give up your resistance to the great pause. It has its place. It's actually a gift of love to help bring us all into what's really important, so we can serve the world in a better way. So trust in the great pause as best you can. Try not to be ruled by fear, and understand that it's actually okay. Give yourself permission. It's okay to pause sometimes and not know all the answers, and then just let go and be present for your life, so that life can actually guide you forward from there. You don't have to know all the answers. Just enjoy the pause for what it is. There's a new normal coming. We'll find out what that is as it evolves. Thanks for tuning in today, and I want you to have a really good think about that. Think about how you can honour this changing time that we're in. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you found the video helpful, especially if you truly do want to reach your fullest experience of life with no regrets. You might also like the free resources of articles, interviews and videos available on my website at bronnieware.com. If you'd like your question to be considered for a future video, or if you'd like some inspiration in your inbox, then join my mailing list via the website. Find out more about my books, which have inspired over 1 million people in 32 languages, at bronnieware.com/books. My online programs are found at bronnieware.com/courses. I also offer a very limited number of one-on-one mentoring sessions. Visit bronnieware.com/mentoring to read more. Socially, I can be found on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook and Pinterest. If you've benefited from what I share here, tag your friends so they can too. Stay well and safe out there, and remember, live true to your heart's own song.